Hello, this video is about SonarPoint recorders, how to take them apart for battery replacement and servicing, and how to put it back together. Let's start with a look at the recorder itself. Of course, it has two ends. This one we call the transducer end. The sonar transducer is here. This particular model is set up for a cabled external transducer. Other ones you'll just see this white cap, and the hydrophone is inside here. The other end, we like to call that the connector or electronics end cap, has this connector here. Notice there's a dummy plug over it. I already want to point that out. If you're not using the connector underwater, it has to be covered by a dummy plug, has to be sealed. Otherwise you're going to have a problem, just like this. The side that you take off is almost always just this side, the connector or electronics end cap. The other side here, the hydrophone, stays on unless you're replacing it, and there is a little bit of additional knowledge involved in this. So let's start. You will have received a little Allen wrench, and you use that to just untighten these 5 screws here. Now you can use a power tool as well, but if you do use a power tool and you're screwing the screws back in, you want to be very careful that you don't over tighten them. This housing, Delrin material or plastic, is good in that it won't corrode on you, and it's rather fouling resistant. But on the other hand, you can strip threads, and you don't want to do that. Alright, so I'm taking these out now. Alright, I removed the 5 screws. You will see that this alignment pin or bolt here, that you don't remove. Leave that in place. That is here so that the alignment of the end cap with the housing is just right for the connector fit on the other end. You'll see that in a moment. Taking it apart, there's a little ledge here, it makes it a bit easier. Gently take it off, like this. And here we go. That's the inside of the housing here. I want to show a couple of things for you. One is, see the blue Velcro type tape around here? That's over the SD cards, and the purpose is to keep the SD cards quite tightly in their slots. Otherwise, if you didn't have this blue Velcro and you drop the recorder, the assembled recorder like this, possibly a SD card may slightly jump out of its slot. Maybe it wouldn't make enough connection anymore for recording. So that's the purpose of this. Next thing, battery. You want to replace that probably. What you do is you just kind of shift it sideways like this. Hang on, let me put it down here. Might make it a bit easier on me. Some of them go easier than other ones. This one here seems to be a little bit recalcitrant, a little bit tight in there. It goes out. And notice this connector here. Just press the little latch. Press the latch and remove it. Later on, as you put it back in, you can only do it the right way. You wouldn't be able to put it in the wrong way here. So now you have the battery taken out. Look at another video in this series that talks in detail about how to charge these batteries, while verifying how much energy goes into the battery pack, which is very important to assure that you get the right recording endurance that you should be getting. So I've taken this out now. Let's take a look at some other design features. See this little connector here? This is what connects to a connector inside this tube that holds the hydrophone, right? And that's, again, the alignment pin is there so that this connector will properly mate with the backplane connector in here. Let's see if we can look inside the housing. Maybe you see the connector deep in there, right? Okay, that's it. The next step is to configure the recorder, and so we'll be doing that next.